evening to another live streaming broadcast. I am Reverend Edward N. Mason Jr., your host for this evening, and we've got another good show for you tonight. If you're watching us by way of Facebook, we ask that you will share and like, and then always we welcome your comments. We also, if you're watching us by YouTube, we trust that you have subscribed so that you get notification every time that we come on. Tonight, we're going to talk about what we should expect during this incoming administration. As you know, still as of yet, the current president, number 45, has still yet not conceded. He has still not accepted the fact that he has lost. So he is in the White House. He's not been seen very much, but he is tweeting away. But nonetheless, this new incoming administration has some challenges that lie ahead of them. And so, won't you take the time and reach out to your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, and let them know that Let's Talk About It is on the air. And so, we welcome you to participate, and certainly your comments are always welcome. What we do ask is that you accept the disclaimer from StreamYard so that when we receive your comments, we'll know who it's from, and we will be able to put it up on the screen. We would like to have your participation and involvement tonight as we share on this another live stream broadcast. It's Thursday, November the 19th, 2020. We are a week away from Thanksgiving Day, Turkey Day, as a lot of folk call it. But anyway, let's get ready so that we can share in another streaming broadcast. So let's talk about it. Well, good evening, and once again, welcome to another live streaming broadcast of Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Reverend Edward N. Mason Jr., and we are excited to have you sharing with us this evening. Once again, we're going to talk about the upcoming or incoming administration, the Biden and Harris team, as they are in their preliminary stages, putting together their transition team and finalizing and working things out. However, they're still having challenges with the current administration. Let me bring in our guest, Dr. Joseph Davis. Dr. Davis, welcome to another broadcast of Let's Talk About It.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you all, and I appreciate you inviting me once again to join you on this discussion about the incoming president. And as you said, we have a lot of challenges, or they have a lot of challenges to deal with. And so it's going to be an exciting year come 2021.
Yes, sir. Well, as you know, and as our viewers know, the current administration still has yet to acknowledge that former Vice President Joe Biden has won the election. And all of his, from my understanding, all of his legal challenges have been debunked and thrown out by the courts. I just found out today that even one of the suits that they had in, I believe in Michigan, they themselves withdrew it due to lack of evidence.
That's right.
And the president's legal head puppet, I would like to say, Giuliani, is just going heads over heels, doing everything he can to try to stroke the ego of this administrator. And therefore, due to that, he just does not seem to want to acknowledge defeat. And I guess one of the reasons is because he talked so bad about Joe Biden when he was running, and he claimed that he was the worst candidate ever. That was what he said. He was the worst candidate ever, and there was no way that he could win. And so, as we know, now due to the numbers have come in, and the states have certifying, and even now still certifying, the fact of the matter is that he has won by not a slim margin, but by a large margin. In fact, larger than the margin that he won last term that he ran. Not only that, the electoral college numbers are the same numbers that he had when he ran. And when he ran, he talked about it was a landslide. He talked about how big the margin was. But yet, when his opponent has the exact same numbers that he had, all of a sudden it's a fraud. It's cheating. Someone has stolen from him. And so he still refuses to concede that he has not won a second term.
Well, the problem is, once again, they miscalculated. If you listen to what they've been saying, they said it was no way Trump could lose.
Right.
Because they were calculating the same thing in 2016 that they did. They were doing it in 2020.
Okay.
And they were calculating that it's no way Trump could have lost. But the problem is he didn't calculate it right, because it was more people voting in 2020 than they did in 2016. And it was just a runaway train. He couldn't stop it. He wanted to, and he's trying to derail everything that he can with the election, even by telling Lindsey Graham to call Georgia, make sure they disqualify some of the votes in Georgia. I mean, it's just ignorant when you think about what they're trying to do. But once again, it was just a runaway train, the way they handled things. And I was kind of glad to see it, because really, all the courts are so far turning them down. It's just crazy.
It is. Not only is it crazy, Dr. Davis, but it's also frustrating. It's frustrating. Here is an individual who is supposed to be the leader of the most influential country in the world.
Yep.
A country that has stood for many years head and shoulders above any other nation or country. And to have a leader at the helm that is acting the way that he's acting certainly does not make it good for our reputation, and it does not make it look good for our allies.
And you're absolutely right. And the thing about it is, once again, they tried to discredit our democracy. They tried to tear it down, and it's an embarrassment because, once again, these are people that should know better. And I don't have any sympathy for them, because I understand that some of these people are going to jail. And I don't have any sympathy for them because, once again, they know better. And the countries around the world are looking at us, especially those countries who have just recently, within the last maybe 20, 30 years, got into this democracy and dealing with democracy. And yet we have been doing it for over 200 years. And yet we find ourselves at this point are challenging in our democracy. It's just a disgrace.
Well, not only is it a disgrace, but here we have over a week after the election, and the numbers are where they are, the facts are where they are. And even if some of the states that he was trying to challenge, even if he was able to get those states, he still would not have the numbers that he needed to be declared the winner.
Right.
So, but here is where another problem come in. We have the woman who's in charge of general services, who is not allowing the transition team access to the resources that are set aside and dedicated for. They're not able to get in the building in the State Department. They're not able to use the rooms that are designated. I mean, this is not something that they have to try to figure out. This is something that's already in place, already planned, already set aside. They have that space that's set aside. They have resources, financial resources that are set aside. Not only that, but they are holding up communications from other world leaders that have reached out to President-elect Joe Biden that the State Department will not forward that information to them. And so what has happened is some of those leaders have had to go around the back door to be able to communicate to President-elect Joe Biden. Now, one of the problems that raises, if they were able to access what they were supposed to through the general services and the transition team, then the leaders of the incoming transition team would be given secure email addresses.
Right.
On secure government service.
Right.
So that the potential of a security flaw would not happen. But because she won't sign off and make the transition team accessible to what they're supposed to receive, it now puts a spin on things in the proper way and they're supposed to happen.
Well, I was listening to the news today with on MSNBC, and I was listening to them today, and the news, I'm trying to think of her name, Nicole Wallace or one of them, Andrew Mitchell, I can't remember which one it was, but they were upset, and they were saying that they should bring charges against Emily. She's the one who's holding up, signing off on the papers. Her name is Emily. I can't think of her last name, but they said they should bring charges against her because, once again, they asked President-elect Joe Biden, they asked him, what's the danger? What is the danger of them wasting time and holding up information that he needs? And he said the danger is more people will die, when he could start doing his thing to help eliminate some of this stuff, but he can't get the information. They were not revealed to him. They were not turned over to him, rather, the information that he needs. She will not sign off on it. And they were saying that maybe they should bring charges against her because people's lives are in jeopardy because of her not turning over or signing over the information that he should receive now that he is president-elect.
Well, Dr. Davis, it's a shame. It's a shame that we can't get what is needed to be able to do the job, because persons that are in leadership feel that it is not necessary.
Right, right.
I think we really need to think about that. One of the things that we have to look at, as one of our viewers have said, um, they are trying everything that they can to make the president-elect Biden look bad and to hinder his progress. They're trying to make it bad for him coming right out the gate. Right out the gate. And thank you, Sister Wiley, for your comment. And certainly you are certainly correct.
Absolutely, absolutely. They are trying to make it bad for him. See, once again, when Trump went in office, excuse me, when Trump went into office, he had no clue of what to do. He had no clue. He had no idea what he was supposed to do once he got into office. On the other hand, Joe Biden, he knows what to do. He's trying to get on top of this pandemic. He's trying to get on top of what needs to be done because, as you said earlier, you have other countries and officials around the world. They're trying to get in touch with him because, once again, they know the value of corporate working together, countries coming together, working together, and pulling together because the pandemic is just not hitting America, but it's around the world. And these people are trying to get in touch with him to see how he wants to handle, how he's going to do things, and so they can get on board with him. But this man is just holding everything up. And like Sister Wiley said, they're just trying to make him look bad. But I thank God that he has an idea. He knows what he has to do. And right now, he's still pulling people on his team. He's still pulling people together to get them to do what needs to be done when he comes in office. Because like I said, when he come in, he's got to come in running. And he's got to be running hard to try to conquer some stuff that he needs to do for America.
Well, this is the woman right here on the screen that we talking about. Her name is Emily. Emily Murphy. Emily Murphy is her name.
That's it.
She's the one that's holding things up because she will not sign off allowing the transition team to do their job. She's the one.
Right.
And they're saying that there's no reason for her to do that, especially since provisions have already been set aside.
Right.
And so, as we know, as it has already been said, the whole thing is about making the incoming administration look bad. Now, Dr. Davis, as you know, and as our viewers know, although President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Madam Harris have been elected by the American people, we know that the Senate is going to do, the Republican-led Senate, even at this point, are doing everything that they can do to see to it that they, in the words of the Navy or the watermen, to scuttle his ship.
Right.
Scuttle his ship. They're trying to sink his ship before he even gets a chance to sail.
Yep.
And so they're trying to tie his hands or to tie one hand behind his back and send him in to a fight, a boxing match with one hand tied behind his back. Now, one of the advantages that this team has is that President-elect Biden has 8 years of prior experience.
Absolutely.
He has 8 years. He's been a part of the transition team for the 2 terms that he served. So he knows what's supposed to happen. also, many of the people that he have on his transition team are either current or former government officials.
Yes,
So
yes,
they have prior practical experience.
right,
The gentleman that he has selected as his chief of staff was one of his chief of staffs when he was vice president.
right,
So he was a chief of staff for other leaders in the White House. So he has experience, he has knowledge in what to do and how to do it. The other thing is, now, and I haven't read it nowhere or seen it anywhere, but I'm sure um, some of the things that need to happen that they need resources for, perhaps maybe he can get those resources from the Democratic convention. And then once this is all taken care of, that transition team money can be returned to them under these circumstances because of the way things are. I'm sure that there is some kind of way that can be made possible. After all, listen, these are taxpayer dollars,
yep,
uh, and we should have the right to use our taxpayer dollars for the purpose for which they have been designated. Once again, if you're viewing and watching us, we encourage you to share this with your family and friends, like it, but also your comments. Let us hear from you. What do you think about what's going on and how it's going down? Sister Wiley has shared with us, and we have agreed that they're trying to make President-elect Biden look bad. But listen, there are some other challenges. There are some other challenges that this administration is going to face coming in, Dr. Davis. And yeah, we are excited about the new administration. We are very much excited about it. But let's be real. They're coming in under some very stringent, difficult times. As you have already said, Dr. Davis, one of the major challenges that they're going to have to deal with is this COVID-19. In one of President-elect Biden's interviews this past week, they asked him what did he think was going to be one of the major challenges. And he said, listen, we need to know where the country stands from a government point of view on this COVID-19. He said, we need to know what do we have available, what's in the stockpile. He said, I don't think there's much there. He said, but whatever's there, we need to know. We need to know about hospital beds availability. We need to know about medications. We need to know about PPEs. We need to know about all that stuff so that when we come in and we get the hem of the ship, we can hit the ground running. But we can't hit the ground running if we don't have the proper information at our disposal. And some are saying that they probably won't even share that information. Not only that, but they're not getting the classified briefings that they're supposed to be getting every day. They're not getting that. And the other information that's supposed to be shared. How in the world can he be adequately prepared to do his job when he's sworn in, if in fact they won't give him what he needs to be adequately prepared? They're trying to set him up for failure. So he's got to deal with this pandemic and in a way to try to get it under control. And now these other things that are happening, he's got to deal with the economy. But now you've got number 45 is saying that he's going to put in place to withdraw these troops a couple days before inauguration.
yep,
Which puts another problem. It's so much of a problem that even Mitch McConnell come out against it.
yeah. Mitch McConnell upset with him and everything. But like you said, it's a disgrace the way this president 45 is doing and handling business. And it's putting the whole country at risk is what it's doing. You're moving the troops out of Afghanistan, out of the Middle East. You're numbering them down, which means now you're going to put those soldiers at risk. You're putting the country at risk because you don't know exactly when we're going to be attacked, because once again, we're letting our guard down. And it's just crazy the way things are happening with this administration. And once again, you're talking about the COVID-19. It's really, man, it's really frightening when you think about what America might come to with all this going on. But once again, I'm hoping and praying with the experience of President-elect Biden and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm hoping that they're preparing themselves for the worst. So when they get in there, no matter if it's what they thought it is, what they think it is, they can deal with it. But if it's not as bad as they thought it was or thought it would be, then they can kind of be at ease. But it's really crazy because when you think about everything that you just mentioned, that they're going to have to face, and yet this man is playing these games and doing what he's doing, and once again is putting the whole country at risk. Man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy times, brother.
Dr. Davis, we must be vigilant. We must be true to the cause. The church, and we talked about the church, the state of the church last week, but the church at large really have to step up.
Yeah.
We have to step up and become more fervent in our prayer life.
Right.
The Bible declares that if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, then shall they hear from heaven.
Yes.
Now, we're too busy bickering back and forth with each other over denominational practices that we have not band together for the purpose of uniting in prayer, seeking God's face and asking him for intervention as well as divine direction. This administration, new administration coming in, not only will they have the pandemic to deal with, not only will they have to deal with the economy, not only will they have to deal with problems of troops being withdrawn hastily, but they are also going to have to deal with, Dr. Davis, finding a way to bring about unity within this yet to be United States of America. This current administration has done nothing but divided us more than we've ever been divided before.
The problem is what's going on in the church or in Christendom. One of the things I've discovered is when it comes to church folk, once again, those folk are hard to forgive and forget and come together to work together. I mean, folk right now who calling themselves Christians are so upset that their president lost the election, and they're upset to the point that they don't care what happens, even if it means going to war or going against the government. They just don't care. And I said to myself, that's the way church folk are. They don't have a forgiving heart where we could bring the country together, pull the country together, pull people together. They just don't have that kind of mentality that they're willing to do this, and yet they're claiming to be children of God. And the scripture teaches us in Matthew 5, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. But once again, like I said, it's just amazing to me how these folks are playing this game of religion.
Well, you had this past weekend, you had the major million mega march with Proud Boys and other organizations that marched on Washington and other capitals around the nation. And number 45 had the audacity to take his motorcade
Yep.
and go down and drive through as a sign of support to them for their racial protests
Yep.
in America. It is just simply amazing.
Yes, sir.
He says he's not a racist. He said he's not a racist, but yet he speaks to the races as if they are part of the same club.
Right.
They are part of the same brotherhood.
Right.
You know, and then it's just amazing that members of the Republican Party, very few of them have come out and spoke against him. Now, they already know that he's lost the election. They already know that he will not serve a second term. But he still have them scared of him, Dr. Davis.
Yes, sir.
They're still scared of him for what he might do when he come out of office. They're saying he might start a talk show, a radio show or something. And they're saying that he will probably run again for president at the next term. But all of this is hypothetical. But before they start worrying about that, they need to face reality of the possibility that whatever he does, he may have to do it from an orange jumpsuit.
Yes, sir. And they keep forgetting that. They forgetting that, hey, they got so many criminal charges against them that, you know, once again, it's going to be crazy for them not to speak out. I mean, all they got to do, well, once again, everybody keeps saying that he could speak out against them, which would cause them to lose their seat. And once again, my thinking is, if you ain't doing your job, you're going to lose your seat anyway. Because once again, you got to be responsible. Look at the people that are dying. Look at the people that, once again, are being held up because this woman, Emily Murphy, won't sign off. And I don't know her reason, unless she's afraid of Trump. But I don't know her reason, because she has every right to sign off, but she's not doing it. And once again, they should be speaking out.
She said she said she's not doing it because the current president has not conceded yet. That's her reason.
Oh, okay. Is that what she said?
What she said.
Oh, okay. All right.
He has not conceded yet.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, he lost. The numbers don't lie. That's a friend of mine. When we used to work at the stadium, my friend used to tell me, Davis, the numbers don't lie. And he was right, because the numbers got to come up. He lost the election because the numbers don't lie.
I heard it from somebody that says liars figure, but figures don't lie.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Liars are always trying to figure a way out and figure a way around. But one thing about it, liars figure, but figures don't lie.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So this team coming in, this presidential team, he has already assembled his coronavirus task force. Many of them, in fact, all of them are professionals, doctors and stuff like that. So he's got a pretty good task force. He's already started looking at cabinet positions. Now, I did hear an interview from one of his challenges during the race, during the primary, Bernie Sanders. and they asked Bernie would he accept a position in the Biden administration, and if so, what position would he like to have? Did you hear that exchange?
Yes, sir.
And he said that he would like to be, if asked to do it, Secretary of of
Education.
it has to do with employment,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Employment. That's right.
right? Because he said that way he could work on getting fair wages for people,
Right.
sort of thing. But of course, nothing has been released yet.
Right.
You know that he is looking at both the short and the long term list of persons. Now, you and I both know that for the most part, this list was put together while they were running.
Yes. Yes.
They have a list of all potential persons for each of those cabinet positions. Now, they may not have finalized down who they want to invite or ask,
Right.
but they have a list of each position and the potential persons that they may look to do it. Now, we do know that he is going to be one of the most diversified cabinets, have one of the most diversified cabinets of presidents for a long time. 12 viewers, you're watching. We see you. We see you watching. Please, we invite you to send your comments. We would really love to hear from you. All you have to do is accept the disclaimer from StreamYard. There's no sharing of information of who you are. It's only good for this broadcast for the time that you're on. But we would like to hear from you. We'd like to see and hear your comments as it relates to what we're talking about tonight. And so, yes, many of those cabinet positions are going to be filled with persons that both share his views, and then some of them, I believe, would be people that did not share his views, but he's open to their view of things.
Right. Right.
You've often heard me say many times that a good leader is not a person that knows how to do everything, but a good leader is a person that knows how to get everything done. So, which means you have to surround yourself with people that can do the things and accomplish the task that maybe you yourself may not be able to do, but would like to do. So that's what he's looking to do. And then let's not forget that his vice president is skilled and experienced. She's skilled
Yep.
and experienced,
Yep.
and knows her way around the legal system, knows her way around government pretty good. So I think that she's going to be a very big asset to the
Yep.
administration. They're just going to have to find a way to deal with members in the Senate and members in the House, members across the aisle. They're going to have to find a way to deal with them so that they can try to get some things accomplished. Certainly, we know they got this runoff between the two Senate seats in Georgia that's going to take place on January the 5th. The Democrats are hoping to win both of those seats. If they are able to get both of those seats, it gives them somewhat of a fighting chance. I said
Yes.
somewhat of a fighting chance to get some things done. That way, that the House will be equal 50-50. And when it comes down to a vote, if they vote along the lines of party, then the vice president will come in and cast a vote to
That's
break.
right. Right.
There are a lot of challenges that they have ahead of them, and we want to kind of just look at a few of them. Here is an article that I pulled up from the Geopolitics. It talks about the major changes facing the new Biden administration. This is what they said. It is no secret that there were speculations that the president election that was held in the United States on November the 3rd would see the back of the incumbent U.S. President Donald Trump and welcome Joe Biden as the country's 46th president. Now that the page has turned on Trump era, it remains to be seen how the new president, after being sworn in on January the 20th next year, deals with the challenges facing the U.S. on the domestic and foreign policy fronts. And here are some of the things that they talked about. The incoming president may find it easy to deal with the domestic challenges, undoing, and he's going to do a lot of undoing, even his first day and second day, especially his first week in office, Dr. Davis, undoing Trump's ban on Muslims.
Yep.
And that on the first day of his presidency. And then they go with a whole list of things, foreign policy, things that it's going to have to be dealt with. Foreign policy will undergo an acid test. The most complicated task possibly will be to overturn Trump's administration policies regarding the world. In the Muslim world, the most challenging task could be dealing with Iran and Israeli-Palestine issues. It's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with. That's no joke. The foreign policy challenge will be posed by the U.S. and China relations. That's going to be a challenge. It's just a lot that he's going to have to deal with, Dr. Davis.
Yes, sir.
We are going to have to give him time to be able to navigate his way through and jump over the hurdles that have been put in front of him. Not only that, there are so many executive orders that Trump has signed into place that it's already said that he's going to overturn a lot of them. He's going to rescind a lot of them. And listen, they are still expecting Trump to do some more things before he leaves to undermine this administration.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
We might as well get ready. It will probably take at the very minimum 2 years before he gets a chance to get a handle on many of the things that he needs to be able to handle and deal with, Dr. Davis.
And you're absolutely right. And there are some things that Trump has signed off on that we don't even know about, because once again, he's got to go through all those files. He's got to go through all those things and look at them and then see which ones he's got to deal with first before he can deal with some of these other ones. And once again, like you said, he's got to get our allies back together, because once again, NATO, he's got to get all of them back together. The people around the world are looking at us and they're hoping that we can get things in order so that it won't be too far off out of the realm of things for them to get back to some kind of decency. But like I said, they have a Biden and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. They have a lot to do, because once again, right now they're even talking about who they can get for the AG. They're trying to figure out who would be the best one to handle the AG and get things done. They're trying to figure out who could be the Secretary of State. I mean, it's a lot that they're looking at, because this man has really messed up the country, even with our foreign relations, people that's overseas, been dealing with them, some of them people he fired. And so, like I said, they have a whole lot of things they have to deal with coming January 20th. Once he's sworn in as president, they have a lot to deal with. And I just don't understand Trump. Well, in a way, I do understand, because he's that kind of a creature. He's that kind of a guy. He's just a low life person that once again, if it ain't going his way, he's ready to take his marbles or take his ball and go home. And that's what he's doing now. It didn't go his way, so he's just upset and he's ready to take his balls and marbles and whatever else and go home and just leave the country suffering.
Well, they talked about that. That was, I think that's what Mitch McConnell said about him, that he things don't work the way he that he want to take his ball and go home. I mean, and that's what children do when they are playing with other children and they can't have their way. They take what's theirs and then they leave and go home. But we have to continue to keep this incoming administration in prayer. And then we must also hold them accountable. But we must also bear in mind, while we're holding them accountable, we have to bear in mind what they're working with and what they're dealing with.
Yes, sir.
They're not in the place that they would want them to be right off the top of the bat. So they've got to get things the way that they are. But still, we're still going to hold them accountable. Dr. Davis, I want to share with our listening audience, our viewers, as you all know, we're just a week away from Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving will be on next Thursday, and we will not have our regular live stream on next Thursday evening. However, we have something special that we're going to do, and we want to invite our listening audience to participate in. On Thanksgiving, next Thursday, from 12 to 1:30, we are doing a special live stream that's entitled Thanks for the Memories. Once again, on next Thursday from 12 noon to 1:30 p.m., we're having a special live stream that's entitled Thanks for the Memories. And what we want to do is give our viewing audience, our listeners, the opportunity to be a part of that event by coming on, and they will be given 3 to 5 minutes where they can share reflections about one of their loved ones that will be missing from the Thanksgiving table. And once again, it's going to be it's entitled Thanks for the Memories. It's all about reflections. And even in the midst of this pandemic, they are saying and challenging us not to go to grandma's house for Thanksgiving dinner. They're challenging us not to go and travel to be around other people for Thanksgiving. And so that within itself is going to be a challenge. And so we know people are already having challenging issues. And so we want to make sure that we help folk cope with what's going on. And so this is going to be entitled Thanks for the Memories. And so if you would like to be a participant and share during that hour and a half, we're asking that you will email us. Email us at yesletstalkabout.it, the number 1 at gmail.com. Email us and say, yes, I would like to be a participant. And we will send you the necessary information that will allow you to connect and be a part of that opportunity. During that hour and a half, we will have a few ministers will be on, and they will give information or motivational messages. We're not doing no hooping and hollering. We ain't doing no stomping and preaching. We're going to give them 3 to 5 minutes to give an inspirational thought. We also have an individual that's sharing some poems. I have some poems, Dr. Davis, that are being written as we speak, specifically for this Thanks for the Memories streaming. Also, we have musicians from around the nation that will be sharing musical information with us. Some of them are doing it pre-recorded, especially for this, and they're sending it in to us that we will show and air during this broadcast. So we will have music that is relevant. We will have inspirational messages. We will have information that will be enlightening. We will have poems, and then we will have you, members of our viewing audience, that will be able to share reflections of a loved one that is missing from the Thanksgiving table this year. And so, if you would like to be a participant, you have to email us and let us know so that we can put you on the list, and we will let you know and schedule you let you know approximately what time you will be scheduled to be on. There is some information that we will share with you as far as what you need to do and be ready so that you can be seen. And you will need to get a link that we will have to send you so that you will be able to connect with us. So when it's your time, we'll be able to put you on and folk will be able to see you. Once again, it will be live streamed. It will not be pre-recorded. It will be live streamed. The whole thing will be live streamed. So we will not have the ability to go back and do any editing. So you need to make sure that you are appropriately dressed. You need to make sure that your camera and everything is appropriately positioned, and we will give you that information in the email that we send you. But we are opening it up to our viewing audience so that you can share reflections on your loved one. It can be family, could be friend, could be co-worker, but someone that will be missing from the Thanksgiving table. And so we want to share that information with you. Once again, if you would like to participate in the Thanks for the Memories live stream on next Thursday, again, it's going to take place live streaming on YouTube, just like we're doing tonight, except it will be in a different venue. But we need to send you the link and all of the information that you will need to know to connect with us. We're just trying to help folk, Dr. Davis, deal with the challenges that folk are facing during this pandemic, during these challenging times. Folk will not be able to share, or they're advising us not to share in Thanksgiving dinners like we've done in the past. In fact, I'm not even cooking. I'm not even cooking this year. I'm not cooking. I'm not fixing no big Thanksgiving Day meal. In fact, I'm gonna go online and see if I can find me some turkey flavored peanut butter, so I can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a glass of milk. And bought some cakes and some pies that I can share with. I'm not doing no cooking, Dr. Davis. I'm not having folk over for Thanksgiving. The virus is running rapid, and I'm trying to remain safe and alive. And I want other folk to remain safe and alive. And so we're not doing that. But we do want to try to help other folk deal with this situation that they're in. So once again, on next Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, we're having a special airing live stream that's entitled Thanks for the Memories. And individuals will be given 3 to 5 minutes to talk about their loved one, the one that they want to share memories about. And so we're asking, if you want to participate and be one of the persons to share live during this live stream, you need to email us at yeslet'stalkaboutit1@gmail.com, so that number one, we can put you on the list. We already have some folk that have already said that they would like to be a part. Again, we're going to have music, renditions will be shared. We have poems that will be shared and read. We have a few preachers that will share inspirational thoughts. And then we're going to have you, the viewing audience, sharing reflections of the memories that you have of your loved ones that are missing. Dr. Davis, what do you think about that?
I think it's a great thing you're doing, my brother, and I'm going to try to be with you on Thanksgiving Day, because I think it's a great thing. As you said, a lot of people are hurting, a lot of people are suffering, and once again, a lot of people were counting on that stimulus check that Trump had promised to send, the second stimulus check. And so people are out of work, people are suffering, people just need to be encouraged. need to be uplifted and what have you. So I think it's a great thing with the poem, the music, motivational speakers and preachers that are coming on to give people some hope in these times in which we live. And I just think it's a marvelous, marvelous thing that you're doing. So once again, I'm hoping that people will click on and join us. And but I thought sure you was gonna cook breakfast for Thanksgiving Day. I had my mind set on some of that good old country breakfast that I thought you were gonna fix for the family. Because I wasn't gonna drop by. I was just gonna tell you to email it to me.
Well, Dr. Davis, I said I wasn't going to fix Thanksgiving dinner. I didn't say that I wasn't going to fix breakfast on Thanksgiving. Now, here's what you've got to understand. In order for you to participate in the breakfast for Thanksgiving, you have to have the app known as Smell-O-Vision. You have to have an app for Smell-O-Vision. You have to have that because that's the only way that you will be able to enjoy the aroma of what I may be cooking. You have to have Smell-O-Vision. You have to have that app. I will be able to show it to you. I will be able to, we can zoom it. I can show you what I'm having. But once again, it will not be for everybody, and I won't be cooking a whole lot. But I will be cooking so I can eat. I got to maintain my nourishment. If we got a program we've got to do at 12 o'clock, I gotta have my strength up for that. So therefore, I do have to do some eating. But in order for those who would like to participate in that breakfast, you have to have, once again, the app, the Smell-O-Vision app. You have to have that. And then after you get the Smell-O-Vision app, you have to have the appetite tasting app to go along with the Smell-O-Vision app so that you not only get to smell it, but you can taste it through the app. Your eyes won't deceive you. Your smell won't deceive you. But if you don't have the taste app, then you're going to miss out on the possible fried apples, with the cinnamon and the butter of the fried apples, and possibly some hickory smoked sausage on that day. Hickory smoked sausage, fried apples, and just maybe some fried potatoes and onions. And maybe there may be a couple slices of ham, that's a part of that. And maybe there might be a few strips of bacon. And maybe there might be a waffle or two or some pancakes. And there may even be some grits. But there's going to be some eggs. But in order for you to understand the brevity and the fullness of what it is that I'm dealing with, you have to have the Smell-O-Vision app, and you're going to have the appetite tasting app in order for you to be able to adequately be a participant in what we're doing.
Well, let me say this then, brother. Guess who's coming for breakfast?
Oh, yeah, Dr. Davis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, once again, on Thanksgiving Day, next Thursday, we are doing a special stream that will take place from 12 to 1:30, where we are inviting you, our viewing, listening audience, to participate. But you have to email us. Email us at yesletstalkabout it, the number 1, at gmail.com to let us know that you would like to participate, because we have to send you the link for you to be able to connect and get into the waiting room. So when it's your time to come up and to be able to be viewed so that you can express and share your reflections, you need to be prepared and ready to do that. Well, Dr. Davis, it's been another good show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I once again want to thank you. And once again, I want to keep praying for this nation and the president. We want to keep praying for him, president-elect, that he will have a success in getting things done, although in spite of, I'm hoping that we'll be able to do what he has to do. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, Dr. Davis, and to all of our listening audience, certainly we want to thank you for your participation, for your involvement. Thank you for watching us. And once again, if you would like to participate in the Thanks for the Memories, if you would like to participate in Thanks for the Memories, make sure that you email us so that we can get the information to you so that you'll be able to share with us. Once again, it's been a great show. Until next Thursday, you be safe, take care of yourself, and make sure that you are doing what the CDC declares, that you are washing your hands, that you are staying at least 6 feet apart from others, that you're limiting your gatherings, and that you're making sure that you are taking care of yourself and your family. Once again, we want to say thank you for sharing, and thank you for all that you do.